Natalie wants to read to the kids. She wants to run the daycare class today. So she's decided to read them my favorite book called Nancy Plays Nurse. I used to love this book as a child. You know? Wow. Look at that. Huh. That makes sense, doesn't it? My favorite book as a child resembles her. Now I see why that was our dream baby. So she's going to read Nurse Nancy to the little kids here in the daycare. We've got Akina and Betty. We got little Jude over here impatiently waiting. He wants the story to begin. We still haven't figured out his name yet. We'll have to figure that out. And then we have little Sunny Janae over here. I was thinking of changing her name to Kira or Farron. I like Farron. If you guys ever seen The Minus Man, I like that name. So she's going to read the Nurse Nancy to the kids. They're all going to have fun listening to that. It is such a good book. Are you ready to start? Are you ready to read to the other kids in the class? Okay, here we go. Okay, she said she's too shy. She doesn't want to read it. She said she wants me to read it to them. So let's read it. My favorite childhood book. Nancy Plays Nurse. Are you guys ready? All right, here we go. More than anything else in the world, Nancy wanted to be a nurse. She played hospital every day with dolls and stuffed animals for patients. She washed them gently, changed their badges, and fixed their beds. She took their temperatures with pretend thermometers. She tried to make sure her patients were always comfortable. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I love this book. I remember it was second grade because I had the best teacher. Nancy knew all about what nurses do because her big sister Lisa was a candy striper. That's what some teenage hospital helpers are called. Every day after school, Nancy and her dog Chipper watched Lisa put on her pink and white candy striped uniform. They waved goodbye when Lisa left to help the nurses at the hospital. Now, how odd is that? I did not plan that in any type of way. That's kind of cool. Wow. Okay. I swear I did not plan that. Every night after supper, Nancy would ask what Lisa did that day. Lisa would tell how she ran errands or filled water pitchers or fixed flowers. Sometimes she helped wash patients or feed sick children or tiny babies. Lisa told Nancy many of the things nurses have to know. I remember when I would read this and I'd have all my little stuffed animals there, their thermometers, pretending they were sick. Gosh, what you remember as a kid. I still can't get over this, though. I mean, wow. Candy stripers spend many hours learning what to do. Lisa had to practice before she could wash someone who was ill. She told Nancy all about the big doll candy stripers used to practice on. That's sweet. Just like me, thought Nancy. But by now, Lisa was through practicing. She wore a pretty uniform and helped nurse real people, not dolls. How Nancy wished she could be a real nurse and wear a candy-striped uniform like her sister, but Nancy never got the chance to nurse anyone but dolls. On Saturday morning, Nancy's mother and sister had to go shopping. Nancy wanted to stay behind because her stuffed giraffe had a stomach ache and she wanted to put him to bed. All right, Mother said. I'll ask Miss Crosby next door to look in on you. If you need anything, just go next door. Nancy waved goodbye and started tucking in her giraffe. All at once she heard a loud voice outside. It was Timmy, a little neighbor boy. He was riding his tricycle, pumping as fast as he could. He shouted, "Look, no hands!" Crash! The tricycle hit a stone and turned over. Nancy rushed outside. Timmy was crying, and there was a little cut on his knee. "Come on in," Nancy said. "I'll fix it for you." I always thought it had the cutest pictures. Nancy knew what to do about little cuts. Lisa had explained it to her, and she had practiced with her dolls so many times. She washed Timmy's cut gently with soap and water and put on a tiny bandage. "Better?" she asked. Timmy nodded, but he was still crying. Nancy went to the cupboard and found a lollipop. That's what Lisa gave children to make them feel all better. And it made Timmy feel all better, too. They're still listening. We got Akina over here. She's just not sure. She's like, that was your favorite book? Are you sure? Maybe Mason? Jack? I don't know. I'm still stuck on this name, guys. "Is everything all right, dear?" Miss Crosby asked, popping her head in the door. "Just fine," Nancy said as Timmy went back outside. She hardly got back to her sick giraffe when she heard another commotion outside. Chipper was barking loudly, holding up a limp paw. Quickly, Nancy rushed out. There, boy," she said. Somehow he had gotten a paw full of splinters. Aw, look at that. Look how cute those pictures were. Nancy remembered the time she tripped over an old screen door and got a handful of splinters herself. Lisa had shown her what to do. Nancy got a basin of warm water and put Chipper's paw in it to soak. Soon the splinters loosened and Nancy could take them out easily, without hurting Chipper. As soon as she finished, the phone rang. It was Mother. "Lisa doesn't feel well. She must be getting a cold. We're coming home now." When I first got Natalia, her hair looked just like that. It had two on the sides and one on top, and it was so cute. This is just uncanny. I never realized till I pulled this book out today. Goodness, Nancy thought. There's so much work for a nurse today. She ran upstairs to Lisa's room and turned the bed down. She put a pitcher of water by the bed. She brought some flowers for the living room and put them on the dresser, just like candy stripers do, she thought. Getting Lisa's room ready, like a good nurse. When Lisa and Mother came home, they were amazed at everything Nancy had done, especially when she heard about Timmy and Chipper. "Next week is your birthday," Mother said. "I think you have a special surprise coming." "Looks like a birthday party." Nancy could hardly wait, but at least the big day came. Her party was such fun. All the children gathered round while she opened her presents. Finally, there was only one box left. Nancy opened it carefully. There, under the tissue paper, was a pink and white candy-striped jumper similar to the one Lisa wore. "You've earned it," Mother said. "You've proved that you're a fine little nurse, and someday you'll be a real candy striper." Nancy slipped on the uniform and stood in front of the mirror. She did look like a real nurse. And at last she felt like a real nurse too. She twirled around the room as pleased as she could be. Look at the little dog holding the bag. And there she is in her nurse striper uniform with all her babies. And that was Nancy Plays Nurse. Such a cute book. I'd come home every day, get out my giraffes and my animals and bandage them up and play Nurse Nancy. And my mom would come up and be like, "What are you doing? You're all quiet up here." And then she would see and she'd go back down. Like, okay, at least she's doing something productive. And this is how we got here today with all the babies. And little Jude over there, he's like, "Oh, that was a girl book, not interested." I have to fix his eyelash. And then we got little Sunny Janae. Her hair's hanging out. Yeah, we might change her name. Kira or Farron. I haven't decided yet. But you guys all have a great day. I was just having a little fun. I'm so tired. I'll have to edit this to death before I put it out. But you guys have a great one. And here's my little alpha baby. Little Ryder. He likes to listen while he sleeps. I need to fix his hair. Ryder's my little alpha.